biggest advice he ever gave me was that it's not about you, it's about the sport. The audience are not here to watch the Alex Brundle show, they're here to watch Formula 2 or Formula 1. Whoa, a little bit right.
Here's a glove.
The audience are never going to notice that we've used the same glove, are they?
No, of course not.
Watch this. Yes!
The ball. Growing up in a motorsport family, did it make it inevitable that you would take the motorsport route, or was there ever a time in your life that you considered taking a different path?
I never remember too much obstruction. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
It seemed like the obvious route to take. I saw my dad having my whole family having a vast amount of fun, enjoyment, satisfaction out of motorsport. It looked like a pretty good route to be taking to me, and so I kind of set off in that direction, and nobody stopped me, and now I'm here. Is basically how it played out.
Do you remember much about your dad's racing career when you were younger? Obviously, you were obviously young, 6 or something when you retired.
Yeah. So he's I'm quite correct, 6 years old, and I do remember a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I got it in kind of a really binary way, like, is Dad going to bring a trophy home? Was generally the thought.
Yeah.
I remember sitting in a cardboard Benetton, watching Grand Prix, which was very exciting, but then not being able to really follow it and abandoning that at a certain point through the race. The Martin Brundle on the screen was a different person to the Martin Brundle at home. I could never grasp the concept, bizarrely, that the person who left our home and just so happened to arrive back at the day after the race had happened was in some way the person who was actually in the racing car doing the racing.
Interesting.
So which manifested in when he had a crash or got a great result, the emotion was different. I recognised I supported Martin Brundle, but the concept that was my father and that he would come back with the trophy that I could see,
you disassociated it a little bit.
Totally disassociated. Bosh.
Bit right. Shot.
Look at that. Are we glove free? We're
glove free. I got glove free here, yeah.
Oh.
Trust me, mate, this is, you're better than most people. There we go.
Lovely.
Easy does it. So, Alex, you're heavily involved in the broadcasting commentary side of motorsport now. How have you found trading, being behind the steering wheel to then being behind the microphone?
The mic. I struggled to give up the sport of it, in that, so I get to the end of the races and it was pretty clear to me that a race had happened.
Right.
Someone had won it, and I kind of looked at my co-commentator and wondered if it was me. You kind of like, it felt a bit sort of like you were just filling a void of open space for a long time. And so I had to get away from being kind of competitive about my commentary, if that made sense. Trying to get more information in, trying to add more and more and more, and actually relax into it a little bit. And I found that kind of, I listen to, I'm quite tragic with the amount of stuff I listen to back. Everybody says you should listen to everything, or all of your broadcasts back, which is quite uncomfortable.
Very.
But you need to do it. And I found when I relaxed, settled, and stopped trying to beat the commentary, if that made sense, stopped trying to win the race from the commentary box, I did a better job of it.
Did your dad give you any tips of how he made his transition to kind of how you're making your transition?
Yeah, he's big on feedback.
What's his biggest piece of advice he's given you?
I think most of it's on-camera advice. In terms of addressing the camera and trying to make the audience feel included in the piece that you're doing. But equally, I think the biggest advice he ever gave me was that it's not about you. It's not about you or your experience or your opinion. It's about the sport. You're there as a conduit to the audience to give them a greater understanding, if you can, using your background and knowledge to try to add You know, as soon as you try and make it about yourself, then you detract, because the audience are not here to watch the Alex Brundle show. They're here to watch Formula 2 or Formula 1.
Ooh, I'll tell you what, good putt. Very good.
Good putt. Shall I do the old?
Tap it in. That's good.
Outstanding.
Well done.
I can't believe. What? So that's 3 under for me.
Yeah, and then I think I was 5 over.
5 over for you. Yeah,
sounds about right.
Shot.
Not bad, actually. We have to talk about your father's grid walks.
Yeah.
Some of the most iconic, for me, it's my favourite part of the weekend. Forget the race, I want to see what Martin Brundle's doing on the grid walk. When he has these awkward encounters with these celebrities, as his son, do you find them awkward, or do you find it funny like the rest of us?
Hilarious.
Okay.
Yeah, hilarious. Because I see it in a different way. I know what he's like most of the rest of the time. I had the most bizarre experience. First time I ever broadcasted on the grid myself. And I saw the grid walk come through, and it has like a kind of wake to it. So you see him, and he's sort of bouncing about in front of the camera, and obviously what you don't see as the viewer is, you know, the sound man over the top and the camera and everything like that. And it just comes through like a train. The most bizarre thing ever. But yeah, no, I mean, he's a heightened, as we all are on television, a heightened version of himself. But that's just what he's like. There's no extra character there.
I mean, it's amazing because he's managed to accumulate this kind of cult following now, where he's kind of the crown jewels of Formula One. That if anyone says anything negative about Martin Brundle, the whole of Formula One will attack that person. I mean, I've seen it numerous times, the Cara Delevingne, the Venus or Serena Williams things, or it's amazing. And they'll, you know, maybe not know who he is, which is fair enough. Not everyone is a Formula One fan. But oh my God, people will go after these people. You know,
and in general, we kind of find that a bit, you know, unpleasant.
Of course, no,
you know,
100%.
It's one of those things where I know that several of those sort of artists or actors or whoever have written to him afterwards, and they've had a lovely conversation off the back of it. And it's an interesting thing. I mean, he's stuck out there on the grid to get interviewed. I'm not sure he necessarily loves it as a part of the coverage anymore. I think that there's a huge demand for it.
Massive,
And I think that kind of if he ever stopped, people would be kind of feel something was missing for the coverage. But doorstepping celebs is kind of not his favourite thing.
If we're going to the other green, it was a great shot.
Oh.
Hey. Tiny bit harder than that, but the right idea. Yep. Ooh.
Outstanding.
Nice.
Gorgeous.
We're going to do some quick fire questions.
Okay.
First thing that comes to your mind, just blurt it out.
Golf. Oh.
What is your Formula One hot take for the 2025 season?
Formula One hot take will be Red Bull struggle this year.
Dinner or drinks for a first date?
Dinner.
Favourite F1 livery of all time?
Gitin Ligier.
Ooh, very nice. What is one rule you'd like changing in F1?
I would like the hardest tyre compound for each race to be scrapped.
I want red flags. You can't change tyres. I want a red flag. I think what you're on, go back out.
Makes a lot of sense. Check them over, send them out.
Favourite helmet design that wasn't yours?
Favourite helmet design that wasn't mine? Senna.
Have you ever peed in a car?
No. Seriously, I mean, I've wanted to, man, but no.
What's your go-to excuse when things are going wrong on track?
Oh, traffic. There's the ideal excuse of the sports car driver, because there's so many classes. There's always someone in the way, and they can't argue.
If you could race in any era of F1, which would it be?
Ground effect.
Ooh, okay. Besides your dad, who was your idol growing up?
My idol growing up. Oh, good point. Well, so it's Schumacher dominance in Formula One. Okay. So for all race car drivers of that era, probably Schumacher.
And lastly, what's one bit of advice you would give to someone, a younger person, trying to get into broadcasting in Formula One?
Start where you are. An audience is an audience. So whether it's on your own social media channels, wherever you find it, talk to people about racing and simply begin. Gorgeous. I think I probably would have got that in.
I think you probably would have.
Yeah.
In motorsport, there's a lot of focus right now on Formula One, right? Because Formula One's the holy grail. But as we know, there's several other top race series out there, i.e. IndyCar, Formula E, WEC. What do you think these other race series have to do in order to try and keep up with the popularity of Formula One?
The World Endurance Championship has the problem that it's really difficult to have heroes when you have more than one driver in the car. So people in general gravitate towards the plight of people, you know? And so those personalities are what's I think most interesting to people. IndyCar are on a massive promotional push right now and doing a very good job at it. And I think that their promotional push has been focused around capturing those personalities of the leading drivers and allowing the audience someone to follow. Formula One has a massive first mover advantage in that, you know, the drivers are already household names, so you don't have
massive celebrities,
Exactly. So you don't have to start from the position of this is this person, this is where they're from, this is what age they are, this is their journey to this point.
And that's Drive to Survive, right?
It is Drive to Survive to a degree, but what really interests me is, you know, you've got several series now that are very much like Drive to Survive. That sort of most series, even British Touring Car Championship, have had their own go at it, right? But nothing's taken off quite so well. And it's almost like Formula One just has this sort of critical mass where Drive to Survive was in the right place at the right time, where even though, let's say you're really casual viewer on Netflix, might not have watched any Formula One, Lando Norris still rang a bell. Right? And so they're like, who's this person I've like kind of heard of? And what's it all about? And so that's the problem that these other series have.
If you weren't in Formula One, would you have gone IndyCar or Formula E? IndyCar, Formula E or WEC? Which one would you have done?
So I did the World Endurance Championship. My view on the 500 was I would do it if somebody asked me, but I wouldn't pursue it. Just from a danger standpoint, but I would have done it if somebody asked me, you know. And so it needed to be worthwhile. The World Endurance Championship was an awesome career. You know, it was just such a nice way of going motor racing.
Team environment,
to work with teammates,
and actually, you're like Formula One. You have teammates, but you hate the guy.
Yeah, there's a camaraderie to it. You know, I mean, teammates in Formula One work together. But when the chips are down, essentially that's the person you need to be. And it's a bit like that in the World Endurance Championship as well. Shot. John, to just edit to it in the hole. Like,
that'd be great.
Yeah.
No.
Brilliant shot. Well done.
Amazing. Alex, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. It was great.
Great to see you.
Guys, thank you very much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, you know the drill, and be on the lookout for the next guest. And we'll see you guys soon. Cheers.